right, team, it's time for our September Spark Zoom. We are so happy to be on, even though we're a small crowd. We're recording this for those that can't be on tonight. We might stop recording, just warning you now. But we are honored to have Sapphire Allie Kintz on with us tonight. So excited to hear her story, her tips, her business strategies. She is one of those jewels that I just really look up to and respect because she's so organized and just so smart. And I know she probably hates me saying all this about her, but it's just true. We can all learn so much from her. And so I asked her to share just some of her things that have helped her have the success that she's having on her team that is just really in momentum right now. It's so exciting to see. So Allie, thank you so much for coming on. Take it away.
All right. Yay. I'm so excited. Thank you for asking me. First of all, I really appreciate that. And that means a lot to me that you would even consider me coming on and talking to your team. And I feel like we have a lot to learn from each other. And I find that's even true with everyone here on this team. We all have different strengths and different weaknesses. And one thing I was just talking to my team about today, actually, some of my leaders, we were talking about how even we have different strengths than our uplines, right? So sometimes we feel like I couldn't do that, or maybe you're thinking I'm not organized. Like, how am I supposed to be like that? Or I don't work like Rebecca does. Like, how am I supposed to be a Jewel someday? Because I don't do the things she does. And I need you to like stop that right now. I am like so black and white different than from my sponsor, Cassie Rainey. And that's what makes this business so beautiful, is that everyone can be good at it because we all have different strengths and weaknesses. And you can pull from sidelines, you can pull from uplines, you can pull from your downlines. I have my team help me in all things. I have my sponsors help me in all things. And I pull from sidelines all the time, just like Rebecca's doing by having me come on this call, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't have to know all the things about all the things to be good. But you can kind of find what your wheelhouse is and learn how you like to work your business and what you're good at and really hone that in and just crush it in that area. So if you're not exactly like me and all the things, that's fine, because you are you, and that's what makes this so awesome. But I've definitely learned so many things from Rebecca and all of our sidelines and our uplines. And so a lot of this might be information that maybe you've heard from me before, or maybe you've heard from sidelines or uplines or whatever, but maybe it's a good refresher for you, or hopefully you can pull out a few nuggets of things that you could do better or remind you to do that you haven't been doing in a while or something like that. So I decided to kind of organize my information, which is so appropriate, into a couple areas that I have really found that helped me be successful in this business and are helping my team be successful. And that's going to be like two categories, basically. One is growing and nurturing my network constantly. And the second is consistently following up. So I will talk a little bit about both of those things tonight. And you can drop any questions in the chat. I am an open book. So whatever you're wondering, if there's something that causes a question to come up, please ask. And I'll get through them. I'll answer them all. So growing and nurturing my network. What does that mean? It's something I'm actually very passionate about. I have a weekly reminder in my planner. If you have seen me before, I use a paper planner. This is what it looks like. It's a whole bunch of chicken scratch mess, but I understand it. So it's organized chaos to me. But I use a paper planner, and I have since I started Plexus 6 years ago. And I have a weekly reminder to grow my network in my planner. I actually do it on Mondays. And I'll tell you how I do that in just a minute. But I also have a weekly plan to engage and nurture that network. And I do that on the weekends. And I can talk about that a little later too. It works with my schedule, but you can do whatever you want. When I first started, though, it was all people I knew, right? It was friends and family. It was close connections to me. And then it kind of grew to like friends of friends and acquaintances and old jobs I used to have, college friends. I was in a sorority, so I had sorority sisters, and my husband was in a fraternity. So we had a lot of like Greek connections and past jobs and cities I'd lived and all that. So it kind of grew out that way. But 6 years later, I am straight up enrolling people that I have never met before. Okay. Like, it is people I do not know. So if you're thinking, I don't have the network for this, I don't know a lot of people, I don't know how to meet a lot of people, I'm going to tell you a way you can meet a bunch of people that you don't know. And they're people that you would want to be friends with in real life. And that is the whole point, is to grow our teams with people that we love and can get really close with, that are going to become like family, like you guys are, right? Like, these people go through life with you and they'll start walking through business with you, and you'll go through all these ups and downs, personal and professional, together. So you want to build a team of people that you really love and trust and would be friends with, because someday we're all going to be on Emerald Extravaganza or Diamond Destination together, and we don't want to have people that we don't want to be around, right? So you want to grow your team with people that you would love to be around. But yeah, right. Yeah. It's like you want to be with fun people. So that's always my goal. And so I look at who is my ideal person I would want to bring on my team. If you think about that person, it's probably who you were right before you joined Plexus. That's probably who that person is. They're struggling with similar things as you, or similar things that maybe your friends or the people in your network might have been struggling with. Probably similar interests, right? Because naturally you're going to gravitate toward people who have commonalities with you. So think about who that ideal customer would be. We call that our ICA on my team, ideal customer avatar. So you can really think about who that might be and write your content specifically for that person, like you're talking to only that person. That's something that helps me write content. Like if I had this person sitting in my living room drinking a cup of coffee and they were like, oh my gosh, you have so much energy now. Tell me what you're doing. What would I say? Right? So try to get away from using like over jargony posts that people aren't going to understand. Have a natural conversation with people, but think about what your interest might be, right? And what my bread and butter is for meeting people that I don't know are Facebook interest groups. And if you've heard me talk on this, I have been using this for years, but it works because I have joined groups that directly relate to things that I'm interested in or parts of my life that are important to me. I have 2 young kiddos. They are 3 and 6. I joined Plexus 6 years ago when my oldest was a new baby. And I'm in due date groups with those kids. So all the other mamas were having kids the same time I was having kiddos. I am in boy mom groups because I have 2 boys. I love to cook. I'm in cooking groups. I just got one of those Ninja Foodie appliances last Christmas. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like an Instant Pot and a slow cooker and a dehydrator and all the things all in one deal. Anyway, I love it, but I didn't know how to use it. So I literally joined a Ninja Foodie cooking group. If you like to knit, if you like to garden, if you have a certain type of dog, if you like to vacation, I'm in a traveling with kids group, right? So I'm in things that I genuinely would want to engage with, and people who would directly relate to me are in these groups, okay? So I have a handful of these groups that I regularly go in for real full-on advice when I need help with things. And I suggest that you find a couple of those that are people that you would want to have in your network, because your content, once you become friends with them, your content needs to relate to them. So if you're adding a bunch of randoms on Facebook that are never going to relate to any of your content, your luck or your kind of probability of getting them to join your Plexus team is probably very slim, because they're not going to really want to engage in any of your content because they don't relate to it, right? So say I'm in my traveling with kids group, right? Which I do a lot. I travel a lot. Our family travels a lot. We have 2 little kids, and I will go in there and I'll ask a question like, has anybody traveled over the Christmas holiday? What is your favorite place to go during Christmas time? Because we want to get away this year, right? And there will be this firestorm of all these people who have traveled over Christmas, because it's a traveling group, right? These people are travelers, like whatever. They're all comment, all this stuff. Their favorite place to go, their favorite hotel to stay, their experiences, all the things, all the tips. And I go in there and I kind of look and see who's commenting on my stuff. Is anybody in here part of my ideal customer avatar? Does somebody in here fit my MO? Would they relate to my content? Would I want to be friends with them in real life? And if they do, I start replying to them in their comments, and we kind of chit chat back and forth and build a little bit of a rapport, right? And see if it's somebody that I feel is like upbeat, helpful, like a joyful person that I would really just want to get to know, like an interesting, genuine person I would want to be my friend, right? And if so, I'll shoot them a friend request. And you would be surprised, most people accept. A few people won't, and that's fine. I don't really care. I don't know these people anyway, right? So if you're worried about like friending request somebody you don't know, you literally didn't know them anyway. So there's no loss, right? So I will send them a friend request, and most people accept. And that's where you can start kind of building that connection. And all of a sudden they're on your feed, right? Because they're in your friends list now when they accept. Quick side note, if you are on Instagram, listen, IG is not my expertise. If it is yours, I salute you. It is not mine. I'm on there and posting on there, but Facebook is my bread and butter. And it has still been working really well for me and growing my team. So I'm going to just ride on that. But on Instagram, it's a little bit of a reverse process where you actually find a hashtag that's specific to your interests, kind of like an interest group. So think of it that way. And you'll find people, you can search that hashtag and look for people using that hashtag and go kind of look at those profiles and see, okay, are these people I would want to have on my team, right? Is it somebody who relates to me and my content? Is it somebody who has common interests as me? If so, you kind of follow them and start engaging with their content, and they're going to see you like popping up on their content or engaging with their stories and asking questions. And they're probably going to click on your profile if they like what they see, which they would if you relate to the same categories of interest, right? They'll probably follow you back. So then that's kind of how you can grow your Instagram a little more. My sponsor, Cassie Rainey, does that extraordinarily well. That is her bread and butter. Once again, if you're not good at Facebook and you want to do Instagram, there is a place for you. If you don't like Instagram and you want to do Facebook, there is a place for you. So you don't have to do it the way anybody else does it. But so this is how I generate like an ongoing list of potentials all the time, right? And I'm friending these people from interest groups. And once they accept, I actually have a friends list that is a non-Plexus friends list. So once they accept my request, you can go in and edit the list that they're on. You can create custom lists on Facebook, and you can just Google how to do that, but it's pretty simple. You just create a list and you can add them to that. This is helpful if you find yourself ever scrolling your feed. On the desktop version of Facebook, you can actually click over to a specific friend list and click on that, and then your feed becomes only those people. So now instead of being flooded with Plexus people, it's only non-Plexus people. It's only my potentials. So that's a quick way to not be flooded with Plexus posts, and you can engage with them more strategically. But I also use this for when Plexus has the birthdays list. I use that as a reach out list, actually. It's like a pre-made reach out list for me every single day. I can go there and maybe there's a list of 12 people's names. And I'm like, is this person a Plexus person? Is this a sideline? Is this a downline? Is this a jewel? I have no idea. When you just see a name, you don't know who it is, right? Well, you can hover over their name in the birthday list and you can say, I think it says see friend lists, click on it and it'll show you what list they're on. So I know like that, if they're a potential or not. And so then I know if I want to privately message them happy birthday, furthering that connection. Sometimes I'll offer a birthday sample, which we love on our team. We're all for sampling. So if you haven't done birthday samples before, I would definitely do that. I could talk on those all night long, but birthday samples are the way to go. Love them. So anyway, the non-Plexus friends list is really great. And it's a really good tool to just kind of be able to divide your friends list, because as you grow in Plexus, you get a lot of Plexus friends, which is wonderful and lovely, but it can really flood your feed and make it kind of muddy to be able to engage with potentials, right? So I have these people on this list, but now I told you I weekly engage with them, right? So every weekend I have a list of people it's usually like a top 20 list that I like to engage with on about an every other week cadence. Okay. So I add them every month. I kind of make a top 20 list. And sometimes I make a couple of them. Like either it's people who I've been friends with for a while now, and I want them on my Plexus team. So I'm specifically engaging with their content because I want them to see mine, or they're brand new friends and I'm just like kind of warming up. And developing this relationship with, and I write them in all on Saturday and Sunday. And I don't spend any time scrolling my feed. I actually put my planner right next on my bedside table. I wake up in the morning before I leave my room, because weekends are busy, man. It's early, and I flip it open and I can go specifically to the person's name. Like right now I'm looking at it. This is Kylie Baird. She is somebody that I will engage with on Saturday morning. I can look at it and I'll type her name in and I'll go directly to her content and I will comment on her post. If she has a story, I will send her a message through her story. If I can get into her inbox, even better. The algorithm of social media will kind of rank your connections. If you're just liking photos, it's nearly meaningless. If you're commenting on photos, you want those comments to be valuable, like a full sentence. Okay. If you're just saying like, oh my goodness, your baby's so cute, it's not really great. But if you're like, your daughter is adorable, where did you find that dress? My niece would love that, right? And she's probably going to reply to you and tell you where she found that dress, right? So you're furthering that connection. That is wonderful in the eyes of social media, because you got the back and forth shows you're building a relationship. If you can get in their inbox, that is primo. So if you can get in their DMs and more have a private conversation, that is the best. But not everybody has a story. Sometimes you can DM someone about their public content, right? You can ask them a question about it. Let's see. Lori says, are you posting the same content ever? Or do you post content to separate lists? You can post content to separate lists. I don't. I actually know some people that do. Like if they have a sale or something, they'll post it only to potentials. But honestly, I want my entire feed to see everything. The only people I'm hiding that from would be Plexus people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter. If you have like your personal family or something that you want to post something just for them, you could do that. I have kind of a newer gal that she's like, I really want to post, these whatever pictures, school pictures of her kids or something, but she didn't want to make it like a public post. And I was like, that's fine. Create a little like special thing that's just like your aunts and uncles, mom, dad, cousins, and post that photo, and it's only going to show up on their feeds. Something that's really private or something. But generally I post everything everywhere because I just find, unless you're like talking to Plexus people or talking to potentials, it's really something for everyone. So yeah, to answer that question, hopefully that was helpful. But when we engage with the content of our potentials, it actually is adding value to them. Because you know how you feel when you get that ping notification, like someone just commented on my post, like you get that like rush of like dopamine or whatever. That is actually adding value, right? It's making them feel positive emotions. So the more we can do that for them, the more likely they are to trust us and value us back. And so we want to establish that positive relationship that says, I value you, I'm interested in you, so that they value us and are interested in us back. And when we engage with that content, they're more likely to see ours. That's what I was referencing with the algorithm before. The algorithm has to do with what social media shows to who, when. That's basically what it governs, right? So if somebody is always engaging with your content or you're always engaging with theirs, they're going to start seeing more of your stuff. That's why when you talk to a bunch of Plexus people in all your group chats, all of a sudden you see every one of Rebecca Pavey's posts at the top of your feed because you're like, she's your leader in your group chat, right? Like I even get notifications. I don't even know how this started, but I get a notification every time Cassie Rainey posts. It's like Cassie posted a new photo. I'm like, great, that's cool. I'll see it later. You know what I mean? Like that's wonderful. But I'm like, this is in my notifications. I don't really need that, but I don't know how to turn that off. But I actually get that for my leaders and stuff too now. So I don't know if that's like a new feature or what, but I actually like that because I go engage with my leaders' content to bump that and stuff. But like, say one of those new friends has been watching you for a while and then they comment on your post or DM you through your story or vote on the poll in your story or whatever. And they start reaching out to you about Plexus because they see that you value them and you spent the time to develop that relationship. And maybe you chat and maybe it's not the right time for them. And that's fine. Think about when like you're buying a mattress, right? Like maybe it's like May and you're like, man, we should buy a new mattress this year. Like I kind of don't like ours. And you kind of think about it for a while and maybe you click on like Serta's website, and then you kind of go to Macy's, see if they have it. And then you see if Costco is going to have a sale over Labor Day. And then, oh, there's a Black Friday sale. Should we snatch it up? Should we wait till the end of the year? Like that happens in normal people's lives about everything. Right. So if they're not ready, it's fine. And if they don't respond, that's a response that they're not ready. Okay. That also could be a response that they don't really have that much of a relationship built with you yet. Like if they're a brand new stranger on the internet, they don't owe you anything, right? Everybody starts by having a certain level of like relational equity, right? So you've got to pour into that relationship bank before you can really ask for a deposit. So remember that when you think about, these people ghosting you on the internet who have only talked to you this one time that they asked you for a sample or whatever, right? Like, do they really have rapport with you yet? Maybe not. So think about that engaging with them, giving them that value, that not only engaging on their content, but providing content that they want to engage with back. That's really going to help you. But if they're not ready, then keep following up. Don't let them fall through the cracks. And now is a really, really, really good time to follow up. Just all the time be following up. But right now, I just did this today. I told a lot of my potentials, I said, hey, in just a few days, the discounted enrollment and the free bag of active is ending. You could also, talk to your potentials or existing team about the greens launch tomorrow. And I, will say something like, hey, we were chatting about the triplex combo, and like, maybe it was last month and they said, maybe next month I'll buy it or something. Right. Well, here I am next month. And I say, it wasn't the right time for you, but right now we've got like XYZ sale. And I say, would you like my help getting started while the products are discounted? Or would you like to see some package options if we haven't, chatted in a while? So ask them questions like that aren't like, are you ready to buy? You want to make sure that you're not inputting your like desperation of making a sale into the conversation. You want to make sure that it's on their terms and they feel like you are there to serve them. That's huge, especially when there are sales going on, or if you're pushing for a rank, or if you're trying to make the 369 or whatever. People still want to feel like they are first, that the sale is not first, right? So would you like my help in XYZ? Would you like me to send you XYZ, right? Not, are you ready to get started? Or are you ready to buy the triplex or something like that? So just think about making them, you helping them the topic of it. That really helps me in my follow-up. But I've also asked people, if I've asked how they, how they're going, how they're doing, and, wanted to quickly tell them about Plexus Greens launching tomorrow. I know I can use help getting all my veggies in, and I love that this is going to be wonderful for my kiddos and it doesn't taste like grass. I'm really excited that it's delicious. And is greens something that you would ever be interested in hearing more about? Should I send you info after the launch tomorrow? Just feel them out, right? You have no idea. Like, this is a brand new product that all of our Plexus potentials might be interested in, right? As well as your existing team, right? So if you have time to get with everybody that's maybe inactive, I've been just following up with all my team about it over the last several days, whether they're active or inactive. Anybody I talk to, I'm just like, did you hear about that? Like, is it something that you want to be alerted about, or can I provide any more information for you? I've sent out the info sheet to people because that's like the best thing I have right now, right? Like, we don't have a ton of materials on it. But you know what? If those people say no, I will just kindly say something like, may I ask when a better time might be that I can check back in? Or do you have any other questions for me so I can be further assistance to you? If they say not right now for some reason, I will ask them if I should circle back with them, if next month would be better. If there's somebody who gives me a specific reason, like, we won't have the money for it for the next 6 weeks or something, then I'll say, great, do you want me to keep you on my list for Black Friday sales, or something specific to give them a time that I'm going to check back in? And then I do what I say, right? Which gives me, professionality, lets them build trust in me, right? So always, if I can, I will pick another time to follow up with them or ask them what the reason might be, what the hesitation is, how I can better help them, or how to proceed, right? Because if they just say no thanks, but they were like trying a sample and attending events and asking me questions, then I will specifically ask them, what might be the hesitation here, or may I ask what the holdup is, because I want to be able to help you with XYZ symptoms you told me about that you wanted relief from, right? So I want to make sure I can help you with that. When would be a good time to check back in with you, or give them a time if they really, give you more information. If they say something like, oh, we just don't have the budget this month, or, it's near the end of the month and I just can't afford it this month, then I will ask them what their budget is, so I can help them find something that will move them toward their goals while still being at a comfortable price point. If it's not like a next month or a later in the future thing, I will specifically ask them, what budget are you working with? Because I know you want better sleep and more energy, and I could probably find 1 or 2 products that might work for you and it could still be within your budget. Would you be willing to let me know what that is, so I can show you what those are? And that, guys, has been working for our team so well, because in the past, we've had so much pressure to sell everybody on a welcome pack. And that's always, always, always our goal is 209 welcome pack. Always start with a 209 welcome pack, because you can't really go up from a 109. Like, that's not going to happen. But you can always go down from a 209, right? And you never know. People will tell you things about their health when you give them the opportunity to. And maybe if someone says, I want that gut health combo you're always talking about, and you say, oh yeah, here's gut health essentials. Does this look like a combo that would benefit you? They'll be like, oh yeah, because I also take medication for anxiety. So I would love to have that vital biome, like you just don't know what they're going to say. So I always start with a 209. And if they're, not into it, I'll dial back to a 109. If they're not into that, I'll usually dial back to 2 products or a bag of Slim. Because guys, now for 50 PV and up with PCs and ambassadors, you get 4 points. 4 points. Like that's huge. And so a lot of these people who maybe never would have joined at all when I was like really urging them into a welcome pack and only following up with them about a welcome pack, now they're purchasing. I just had a mom buy 2 kids essentials combos. I had another person only buy a bag of Slim. I had somebody just buy a bottle of Metaburn. Like that's all they wanted. But thank goodness with the new like comp plan, for preferred customers, you're getting points on them. 2 points are for a level 1 that has 25 PV. That's literally a bottle of Metaburn. So those are points you would never have had otherwise. So if you can kind of keep dialing back and find where their comfort level is, I would highly recommend doing that. And that's all part of the follow-up, right? Because if they just say, oh no, I'm not really ready for that, a triplex combo or a whatever, and you could totally let that be. But if you don't ask about budget, or what if we just started with a bag of Slim, do you think that's a better place for you to start? Or what if we just start with Probiotic 5 and BioCleanse? I forgot I actually had someone just buy those too. So I just urge you to kind of try that out because it's working really well for our team, and it's causing a lot of teams to grow really quickly because these people who maybe never would have done a combo are now kind of dipping their toe in. And it's allowing people to almost sample, like I don't like calling it sampling, but almost like give things a try and not go all in with a bigger option than like a trial pack, right? So I'm really, really loving that. So yeah, the tiers are 25 PV with preferred customers and then 50 PV for ambassadors and preferred customers. Those are your tiers there. So you literally could sell a single product like Metaburn to someone who was interested in weight loss, but didn't really go for a welcome pack. You come back and see like, is that something you might consider trying? Because I think you would really love it. And I was actually doing some research on, I knew I had heard this statistic somewhere, and I was trying to tell my team that, and I looked up to find it, a customer that buys anything from you, if they have a positive experience with it, no matter what it is, it could be a $10 product, it could be a $100 product. A customer that has a positive experience with you is 81% likely to buy from you again. So think about that, that if they give you an opportunity to follow up with them and they're still having a conversation with you, they're still interested, right? So don't just let them fall through the cracks. Don't just forget about them because they don't want your welcome pack, right? So everybody's going to kind of want different tiers. And now Plexus has made it so great for us to have all these different opportunities to grow. And I mean, I've been doing this a long time, so I have a lot of level 1s, right? Like I've met all the like level 1 requirements for things. And so I want to grow my points in whatever way that I can. And so I know that I have people in my network that I have been talking to for 2.5 years, and they are like not going for it. They're like, yeah, tell me about the sales, tell me about the sale, tell me about the sale. And I'm like, hey, her name's Stephanie, the girl who bought the 2 kids essentials. I was like, I know you really just wanted the kids products and you're not really interested in the Slim or the vitamins for you. What are your thoughts on just getting like a couple of kids combos for your kids to try, 60-day money back guarantee? What do you think? And she was like, yeah, sure. That sounds like a great thing to start with. Boom. And I wasn't so caught up in like not selling her a welcome pack. Right. And I loved it. And I got points for that, which is so great. And so I've been doing that a lot with our team lately, and it's a fallback, right? It's not your go-to, but you've got these people who are like on the fence, right? They're just not, committing, and they're not really into a combo, or their price just isn't there, right? Then their budget just isn't there. So just remember that about people. And if they still really aren't ready, invite them to stuff. That's part of your follow-up. Invite them to try a sample, invite them to an online event, have your own online event if your team's not having one. Invite them to the next trial group. Honestly, we've got the Plexus Why Now calls. They're great, guys. If you haven't been on them, they're like 20 minutes. Short little synopsis of what Plexus is all about. It does highlight the weight loss essentials. Weight loss advanced, combo, but so a little bit of a weight loss stint to it, which honestly appeals to most people, but not everyone. So know that, but just know that more exposure can change things. Inviting them to hear more information is really important, and offering samples is really important. I probably send a handful of samples every single week, which sounds like a lot to some people, but I do it through birthday samples. So if I'm messaging like 4 people on my birthday sample list on Facebook 5 days a week, maybe one person out of that will say yes. Usually it's more like 3 a week, 3 to 4 every week. And I find that when I am the first person to offer them value, expecting nothing in return, just to simply celebrate them, people remember that. That even in 2 years, when they see their, Susie Q friend rando on Facebook posting about Plexus, they remember that I gave them a sample. And I've been the one that's engaging with them all this time, right? And getting to know them through their stories and spending time with them. And so even though it's virtual, it's still a close relationship, and I invested in them. So that's why I love sampling so much. I could literally talk about that forever. But right when people, when they join you, right when they sign up, if you really want to get your team into momentum, you have got to get used to talking about sharing, and not in a businessy, salesy, pushy way. I simply just say, like, I'm so excited for you. I always try to help everybody find one person that is close to them that they see face to face. Do this with them to help keep them consistent. I will be your virtual coach, and I will be talking to you every couple of days. But do you have a best friend, a sister, a husband, a coworker, a babysitter, like someone that you'll see on a regular basis that could do this with you? And that kind of messaging is much more approachable than just throwing like dollar amounts at them. Which, even though if you don't say the word business and say the word silver, and if you leave all that out, still, when you're like, you could make $300 by enrolling 3 people, like, it still sounds a little bit businessy, because it becomes sales-based, it becomes money-based, right? But when you think about being in their best interest, keeping them accountable, it really helps. And when they say no, like, no, I just want to try the products first before I tell anybody, great, that's fine. But then you need to remember that we need to help them find have an outstanding customer service experience. And when they have amazing results in a few months, I ask them again about posting about the results that they told me, because they're usually pretty positive, or having an online event to share with their friends if anyone might like to do this with them. So I revisit that. If they say yes, great, like help them send their free samples, ask them if maybe they just want to do an online info event that's like a quick hour next week or whatever, or if they have a few people in mind that you can help them send a quick message to. So help them get started for sure. But if they say no, I want to tell you that some of my biggest business builders were people who were just taking the products for 4 or 5 months. I have a girl that's going to go gold tomorrow after subs hit. She joined last August, and she started sharing in April. I asked her to have an online event. She was losing weight. She's lost like 50 pounds or something. Like, she's doing wonderful. Her name's Katie Rico, if you see her name pop up anywhere. And I asked her, I was like, you are doing so well. Like, do you think that you would consider me having an online event for you? See if any of your friends might want to do this with you, because you are feeling so great and I know you're loving the products. And she's like, sure, why not? And she signed up, I think, 6 people from that online event. And she's very well connected for somebody to go that quickly. But because, like, she went senior silver like that. She works in a hospital. And so, but I have a few people like that. I have a gal that's going to be Ruby soon, and she didn't share for months and months and months. And finally she's like, I think I want to post about this. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So I helped her write some posts. And so give people outstanding customer service, outstanding. And I consider the sale not made until they achieve the result they were looking for. Like, my job isn't done until they get the results that they wanted. And I really think if we followed up with our existing ambassadors as much as we follow up with a potential trying to make a sale, it would be a game changer. Think about how much you talk to somebody when you're trying to sell them on something, and then how much you talk to them after they're already on the products, right? Think about how that might make them feel on the back end. It's pretty like interesting to think about that, right? So you want them to be consistent. You want them to achieve the results they're looking for. And it's like all about follow-up. It's follow-up beforehand. It's follow-up after the sale. It's follow-up about sharing. Follow-up is something I'm so passionate about. And I am really organized about it. And I have this paper planner. I know exactly who I'm going to talk to for the next several weeks because I have their names written in. Anybody I talk to today, I cross their name out and I write them in the next time I'm going to talk to them again. And so I know, what's going on in my business and who I need to speak to. And that goes for my leaders too. I talk to my leaders a lot. And a lot of them, like I said, are people who none of them went fast start. Some of the brand new coming up people are going fast start because of the new way the comp plan works. They have longer period of time to go fast start, which I love, by the way. It's not just, 30 days or nothing. And so we're having some new fast starts on our team, but a lot of our business builders are people that just had really good customer service and we helped them get really good results. But is there any other questions you want me to answer? I feel like I'm talking so much. I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh, don't be so sorry, Allie. This was incredible. I knew it would be, but like just such good reminders to be intentional. I mean, this is the thing I hear from you is that you're intentional, you're systematic, like you know who you're reaching out to, you have your list. It's not random. You're not scrolling and wishing and praying. You're like purposeful and you're all about serving. Like, I
Absolutely.
love that. Love, love, love that.
Yeah. And a lot of times when I follow up with people, I don't know if I said this, with potentials or my team, it's not about Plexus. It's actually just personal. Because a lot of times your potential will speak to you about their personal life and you don't even have to ask them if they're ready to order because they're going to say, oh, it's been a rough day. Actually, my car just broke down and I'm on my way to deliver cupcakes to my daughter's birthday party at school. And you're like, great, today would have been a horrible day for me to ask her if she wants to buy her triplex. You know what I mean? Yeah. So just ask them because you might be the only person asking them how they're doing. Mm-hmm. Literally, you may be the only one. So remember that. And you could be the only person that cares about their health too. Mm-hmm. So just remember that when you're talking to people.
So good. And you have it in your calendar. You said weekly reminder of who to grow. Mondays. Mm-hmm. Mondays is who you're.
Mondays. I do. I go in my interest groups and I ask questions in there. Like I said, I ask a question on Mondays to 3 different groups. I have 3 groups that are like my bread and butter. Find a lot of potentials that way. And by the way, if you're thinking like none of my people can afford it, none of my people are interested, whatever, make an excuse about your network, go find a group of people that can afford it. Go find a people that are interested in health and wellness. Like go find the people. They're out there. So don't use that excuse anymore.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that you've been doing this, Allie, for 6 years and you're still getting your bread and butter from Facebook. I think a lot of people think, well, I've already talked to everyone. I don't. But what we're hearing from Allie tonight is she's intentional about meeting new people. She said that somewhere. Where did she say? Always be meeting new people.
Yeah, constantly, weekly.
You know, so that was great too. And you guys have questions? You guys speak up if you have questions. I'll be quiet.
Can talk or put it in the chat. I just like seeing everybody's face. I don't get to do that very often anymore.
Aww.
Oh man. Well, let me know if any questions.
You have a question, Linda?
I was just going to say, just lots of really good information. I love the way we're doing our points now. So like you said, if they can't get a combo, then it's okay,
Yeah.
And we need to work on that a little bit more too. And that just kind of fired me up about that. So I loved everything you had to say. I'm glad you recorded this because I'm going to go back and listen and take more notes because you talk really fast. So,
I do. Sorry.
Which is good. It's good. And I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much, Allie.
Yes, you're so welcome. I am all about the points change for the comp plan. You guys, I love it. I love it. It takes a lot of the pressure off of selling welcome packs and it meets people where they're at.
Well, and I think I saw you say in a group chat that we're in something like, and I'm probably going to get it wrong, so maybe you can clarify this, but I thought it was so smart. You were like, if you're signing up 5 people, the 6th one is free.
Yeah,
right?
I told my team that.
I love that.
All level ones, yeah, they used to be 5
that
points.
with everybody like that.
Yes,
like,
and I told my team, I'm like, you guys, now it's like sign 5, get 1 free because they're all like 6 points now. I'm like, that's amazing.
You get that extra 5 points.
Like anybody that's been here past, further than the last 5-6 months, they're used to 5 points for level 1s. And now I'm like, holy cow. And for someone to go senior silver, it's only 9 people now instead of 10. I think gold it's 17 or 18 people when you do the math. So if you got all level ones, I guess, if you have, down the line. But again, like the fast start plan really extends that, because silver is 30 days and then senior silver is their second calendar month, I think. So so the gal that just went fast start senior silver on our team, she joined in July, like early July. July is her enrollment month. August is her first calendar month. September was her second calendar month, right? So lucky her, she joined in like the first week of July. It might've been like the 4th of July thing. I don't know. I don't remember, but she just went fast start senior silver and she gets this huge achievement. She gets the cash bonus. She gets all of this excitement, and it's okay that it didn't all happen in 30 days. Right? Like she basically got like 2.5 to 3 months to do it in, and gold will be her third calendar month. So I'm just so excited about all this, like the points and the extended fast start. And it's just, people are really grasping it. And you can see in your back office who's fast start eligible too. And you might have people interested in that if people are interested in kind of having an event or sharing or sending a sample, you can tell them, I see that if you meet this deadline, your bonuses get doubled. And remember, as a sponsor, you get a bonus for that too. So don't forget that part.
And it's just like little by little, like if people are not going for the whole thing, the whole combo, the whole 100 PV, but you're still getting points. And if you have enough of those people doing that, that adds up.
Because look, you can go visit the comp plan summary chart, the one that has like the colored columns. It says how many level ones you have to have to get paid on the levels below you. And so if you have met that minimum, obviously you want to help those people grow their teams if you can, and all that duplication. But if you've met that and you've got this really strong first level, don't be afraid to grab points where you can get them, that's kind of where I'm at. I have these people, I've been doing this 6 years. I have these people who literally I've been stringing along. I check in every time there's a Black Friday sale, every time there's a whatever, every time there's a challenge, everything, because they're on my list. I have a big long list of anybody I've ever talked to about Plexus before, ever, in a note on my phone. It's like hundreds of people long now. And I go down that list anytime there's a sale. There's people on that are literally from like 2017. And you never know who's going to jump, right? They're like, I've been watching you, I'm ready. Or who's going to buy like a bottle of Metaburn, like my girl the other day. I was like, what if you just try this? And she was like, yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I'm like, great. Yeah. Finally. And like 2 points is better than no points,
Well, and the thing is, like, she'll try that, and then hopefully, you can say, if you add Slim to that, you'd probably melt even more fat,
Exactly. Or, it's Metaburn, and like maybe she'll try a 3-day trial box or something to like try the other products, or just order a bag of lean to see how it tastes. You just never know what's going to lead these people into a further purchase. And it's okay if it's like a slow drip instead of just like an all in or nothing. Which unfortunately in the past, we kind of had that mindset because that was the only way to get points. But now it's like, we can get points so many other ways. I just love it. I love it so much. And we're like rocking it. Like our team, I'm so proud of my team. I really tried to like drill this into them that always start with the 209, but don't be afraid to bring it down low. And it's really helping out. We have people just buying a couple bags of lean because that's all they want. Or just a tub of collagen because that's all they want. And it's helping these people grow who maybe went silver or senior silver and have kind of been stagnant. It's helping them get points because they've got their first level kind of taken care of. They've got 5, 6, 7, 8 level ones. So they've got that first level strong. But these can pick up some other points to hit, fast start bonuses or rank ups or whatever, should you need them. And you're not like tracking down inactive people to buy like $100 in product, right? It's much easier. It's just the growth potential is enormous if you can really work it, which is like the best thing to do.
Well, and I appreciate, and I will let you go, Allie, because I know we've been on a long time, but
sorry.
It's been golden nuggets, all of it. And I appreciate too, you reminding us to be asking out of the gate people to share. Don't hold back on that or be afraid of that. I think I even typed up some of your verbiage. Like, I like to help everyone have at least one person that you see regularly that you can do this with. And that is such good, like, we just need to train ourselves to say that over and over again in your sleep, in the mirror, until it becomes what you say to every person you sign up.
Yeah. I have a note in my phone. You guys, I have all the notes in my phone. I have all the notes and all the reminders. My phone is like a hot mess, but I know it. I know how it works. And it literally is pinned at the top of my notes, and it says, after someone signs up, and is that script right there. And it says, you know, I always help everybody find one person, you know, who could that be for you? And yes, it gets straight up ignored sometimes. Yes, people are like, I don't know, I want to try the products first. Yes, people are like, I can't really think of anybody or whatever. But then every so often they'll be like, yeah, I think my husband really want to do this with me, or my sister would love to do this. And so you get those people, you know, who get one in, or they're like, oh yeah, I actually think I have a few people who I might want to message. And I'm like, why don't we just do an online event and we can give everybody info at the same time? How about Wednesday night next week? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. You know, they just enrolled. They're super excited. So we do online events like crazy, which I think I put you in that page, right, Rebecca, with the template group. Was that you?
I don't know.
But
I'll let you
message me. It's our online event template page. So it has all the posts that we put in our online events. They're like 1 hour.
Perfect.
Of course, I'll have to add another post when Greens comes out, but we thrive off of those. And it has tips for running it and everything. But yeah, it's like just harness that excitement and run with it. Imagine if every enrollment you brought in was doubled because each person just had like their sister join them, you know?
Yeah.
That is huge in itself. I get a lot of sisters. I got a lot of sisters and a lot of moms.
Yeah.
Moms or daughters. I had a mom who actually signed up for 2 daughters. She never went silver, was not interested in the business, never had an online event, but like she signed up for 2 daughters.
Too bad she didn't have a 3rd daughter. Dang.
I know, right? I'm like, and I tried to do all my sweet talking, nothing worked. She's like, no. And I'll just get it, you know, I'll get my daughters to sign up, and because they need this, they both have IBS, whatever. It's clearly hereditary. That was the whole situation. But anyway, I get a lot of people like that where like, if I hadn't asked, I don't know if we would have had a conversation about it, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. Anything else?
All right. Well, I'm going to end the recording, and if you guys need to ask 1 or 2 more questions, you can stay on for a sec, but thank you. Thank you so much, Allie. We really appreciated this tonight, and it was so much value. Such a great job. Thanks.
You're welcome.